What are the pros and cons of new construction? Well, let's talk about that next. Treasure Valley Dave here, and today we're going to talk about new construction. So what is new construction? Well, it's pretty much like what the name implies. It's a house that has been newly constructed. There are a couple different kinds though. So you have the house that's an inventory or a spec house that's already built or almost finished being built that you could buy and move into probably by the time escrow closes. And then you have, of course, the custom house that isn't built yet, plans aren't even drawn up, that you'll sit down with an architect and then with your general contractor and you'll start putting plans together. And so while that produces some great looking houses, there is quite a time factor involved there and a money factor. Some of the people that I trust that work exclusively with these custom new construction projects, they say that, unless you're coming in at $700,000-800,000 for a very modest custom home, it's not worth it. So what are the benefits of new construction? Well, one, obviously the roof's brand new, the heating system's brand new, everything's brand new, right? So you don't have to worry about stuff for quite some time, right? And your honey-do list, you got your weekends back. You're not going to spend all your time doing these little repairs around the house. So that's kind of cool. So another benefit of new construction is, well, in this market, we have limited supply and a lot of demand. So existing houses, they're getting snatched up, and typically that involves multiple offers, selling prices going way over the asking price and things like that. With new construction, it's typically the buyer that comes in that is well qualified, that is pre-approved, and can get to the closing table for the builder is the one that's going to get it. No haggling, no extra, bidding up and stuff like that. So that can be a huge benefit. If you don't have time and you want to get moved in right away, then you might go with one of those inventory homes or a spec home, and it'll be ready to move into just about the time you're done with closing escrow. You could also have one built, and there's different lengths of building times depending on the builder and the community that you're looking at. And it could be as quick as 6-7 months, or it could be as much as 12 or 14 months. So if you have a time factor that you can plug into that and you're flexible, then new construction can really be a benefit. Another great benefit, and don't let this one slip by, is that when you go under contract with your new build, you're locking in the price on that day. Now your house may not be done for 6 to 12 months, but when you actually move in, when you start your loan, when you start making your payments, you're buying a house that is priced 6 months or 12 months earlier. So does anybody want to raise their hand on who would like to buy a house today for prices 6 months ago or 12 months ago? I think I see a lot of hands going up there in the back, right? So are there downsides to new constructions? Well, of course there is. One of the things that come to mind is the landscaping. With the existing house, you can pretty much count on having mature trees, taller trees, more filled out. Maybe the grass is in the backyard, the fences are all the irrigation's in. So those could be things you could expect to see in an existing house that you might not necessarily find in new construction. Another thing would be too is that things in the house that really appeal to you that the previous buyer put in. Maybe it's a in-ground pool, or maybe pavers on the back patio, or a built-in barbecue area in the backyard. Those kind of things you wouldn't necessarily find in new construction, but it might be there in that existing home. Another downside to new construction, and I'm kind of scraping here, but in an existing home, an existing neighborhood, you're going to know what that neighborhood's like. You're going to know, is this the kind of neighborhood where you can put your car up on blocks and leave it sit there for year after year? Or is this the kind of neighborhood where everyone keeps their front yard just absolutely meticulous? And new community, you might have HOAs, but you really don't know what it's going to be like. Another thing is that new construction, maybe you're the first house on the block and you have a single story, and you don't know if next door neighbor around all sides of you are going to be 2-story houses. And maybe you don't like people from their bedrooms upstairs looking down in your backyard. With an existing home, you already know what the lay of the land is out there, and you can go with it or not, but at least you know. There are, again, pluses to new construction, and one of them might be that, let's say you're looking at an existing home and maybe it's been renovated and really fixed up nice, but there could still be some little hidden problems inside the walls that even that inspector that you wisely chose to have come out and take a look at your house, he couldn't see. So with a new home, they had the city or county was out there and they were, had pulled permits and they had the inspections for those permits to make sure that the wiring's fine and the plumbing's fine. But with a renovation project, and maybe the renovation project happened like 30 years ago, and you just don't know if all the safety things were done right, and even they may have been done right 30 years ago to code then, and codes changed, and it's not as safe as you might ultimately want it to be for your kids. So when looking at new construction versus existing homes, there's a lot of things to consider, and just one last little thing to consider, and this might not even be an issue, is the financing. So new homes, your regular run-of-the-mill, we're not talking a mansion here, you can get financing on that very easily. An older home, it might be harder. It might not be able to go FHA or VA because it's old and it doesn't meet the requirements that those different loan packages have, that a new home would probably just fly right through the process. Well, I certainly hope you found this video interesting, and don't forget to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos that we do. And as always, this is Treasure Valley Dave, looking forward to helping you get home.